Testing. Good afternoon, class. This is Mr. Wong here. So today we'll talk about your SLP essay. So please download this worksheet and then print it out and put it in front of you when you watch this video so that you can refer to the main points when you watch the video. All right. Okay, so let's begin. So this time we'll talk about your SLP essay. So let's have an introduction first. So before you complete your S6 school year, you have to write 2 self-accounts. So the first one is for SLP, and SLP stands for Student Learning Profile. All right, so we're going to do this one today. And the other one is for JUPAS application. You do it in Form 6. All right. So what are the differences between the two? So for the SLP essay, you have to write around 1,000 words. So it is more like a summary of your learning experiences throughout the senior secondary school days. Okay, and don't worry, this time we won't write 1,000 words. We only write around 400 words because it is just a practice. Okay, and you will add more paragraphs in Form 5 and in Form 6, and then you will modify your writing accordingly. Okay, so we'll write 400 words this time. And for the one in Form 6, the one for JUPAS application, it is not more than 500 words, but it is more focused. Okay, so you should highlight your suitability for the university programs applied. All right, so this is just a short introduction of the 2 self-accounts. Okay, so first let's look at the instructions for the SLP essay. So please highlight any aspects of your learning life and personal development during or before senior secondary education. For example, you may take the opportunity to briefly highlight an impressive learning experience that has had an impact on your personal growth and life goals. You may also tell your story about personal goal setting that is influencing your career aspirations or whole person development. Okay, so these are the instructions for the SLP essay. Okay, so you have some questions to consider before you write your SLP essay. For example, who are the potential readers? What purpose does the SLP essay serve? So what do the potential readers expect to learn about you from your SLP writing? And how can you impress your readers? What are the success criteria in producing your SLP writing, and what tone will you use in your writing? So you have to consider these questions before you start writing your essay. Okay, so first, the potential readers will be the professors, college advisors, and your future employers. And the purpose of the SLP essay, so it is a reference document during university admission or job application. So it provides a fuller picture of students' competencies and specialties for consideration. So it provides a chance for students to tell your stories of learning and to celebrate your successes. Okay, so these are the purposes. So expectations on the SLP essay. So it shows how you develop your abilities and career goal. So it should highlight some impressive learning experiences from these points. Okay, academic performance in school or in certain academic subjects, your OLE activities, and your performance or awards gained outside school. And you may also mention something about your study trips, what you have learned from those trips, right? Okay, so it is your self-account. What made you today? You should answer these questions, right? Okay, so how to impress the readers? So about content. So you should write a presentable self-account structured to your advantage. So you should show your aspiration and personality. You should show your strengths, and you should mention how your experience prepare you for future challenges. So that is how you have grown. So how to impress? First of all, something about the structure. You should have a strong opening. Okay, and we'll look at some examples later. And you should have a concise last paragraph that gives a sense of confidence and completeness to end your essay. And regarding the language, so you should pay attention to the tense and time expressions, and you should describe your feelings. Try to make use of senses. All right. So about the language, for example, you can use more advanced words like exhilarated and ecstatic instead of just excited and happy, right? And heart-wrenching, heartbreaking, and heart-earned experience. Try to use vocabulary items like these words, right? And you can also use useful phrases about personality and character. For example, build my tolerance level, become a more persistent person, or a conscientious student. All right, so you should use a formal tone because you're talking to the professors. All right, so try to use a formal tone when you write. Okay, so let's look at some bad examples. So when you mention your ECA or OLE activities, so don't just say what you have done. Okay, so don't write something like, oh, I enjoy playing volleyball. Instead, you should write something like this. Being a member of the volleyball team, I have developed strong teamwork skills and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so don't just tell me you enjoy playing volleyball. Tell me what you have developed, okay, or what you have learned from playing volleyball. Okay, so the second one, I've taken part in walkathon. This is not good enough. For example, you can say something like, oh, taking part in walkathon has enabled me to, for example, developed excellent interpersonal skills, things like that. All right. So you should use what you have done to explain how these experiences help your personal growth. All right. Okay. So let's talk about the introduction paragraph. So you should have a strong opening to give a clear image about yourself and your predetermined objectives. So this is the first impression the readers are going to have on you. Okay, so for example, I am an athlete who completes the 1,500 meter run every year on sports day. Okay, so try to give a good first impression to the readers, right? Or you can write something like this. Academically, I have an excellent foundation to pursue my passion for physics. Not only have I consistently ranked among the top in my class subjects, so give me examples such as physics and mathematics. I've also represented my school in Hong Kong Physics Olympiad. Okay, so use examples to support your arguments or statements, right? In the third example, I've found economics to be a challenging and diverse discipline. I'm sure that I can gain a highly marketable set of skills from the study of economics at university. Okay, so begin your essay with strong opening. You can look at the examples when you write, right? And how about the ending paragraph? So you should have a concise last paragraph that gives a sense of confidence and completeness. Let's look at these two examples. For example, I have experienced a rewarding secondary school life and am now looking forward to the new challenges at university. Okay, so this one is strong and confident. And the next one, after participating in all these activities inside and outside school, I become a more independent and mature person. So the valuable leadership skills acquired will surely help me in my further studies and career development. All right, so try to sum up your essay with one sentence at the end, right? So let's try it together. What's good, what's wrong? So let's look at this example. So please read it by yourself first. Okay, so what's good about this example? What's bad about it? Okay, let's take a look together. So as a sub-community member of Astronomy Society, I helped organize the Joint School Stargazing Camp with Yinghua Girls School. I think this part is good. All right. The event was held in Chengchao and lasted for 2 days. So is this necessary? I don't think so, because I don't have to know this, right? So we can just delete this part. It developed my interest in astronomy. This is good. Moreover, I made some new friends and we really enjoyed the camp. Made some new friends, is it, do I have to know this? I don't think so. So these two sentences are redundant. Okay, we can just delete it. So let's look at a better example. Alright, so as a member of the sub-community of Astronomy Society, I helped organize a joint school stargazing camp last summer. Through working with, for example, the community members of Yinghua Girls School, I understood that maybe teamwork is essential when we organize activities, something like that. Okay, so tell me what you have learned, right? So tell us what you have learned, not what you did. This is very important. So pay attention to this point when you write your SLP essay. Okay, so let's have a recap. So any particular achievements, anything which inspired you, what made you you today? Let's try to think about these questions, right? Okay. Okay, before we talk about the submission of your SLP essay, let's look at the worksheet. Okay, let's return to the worksheet. So you can see all the main points in the first few pages. Okay, all the main points in the PowerPoint. So now let's look at page 3 of the worksheet, page 3. So these points may help you with your writing. So try to brainstorm the following points, right, when you write your essay. Number 1, what have you achieved in S4? What have you learned from these achievements? Have you taken part in any competitions? I know that many competitions have been cancelled, but have you taken part in any competitions? Maybe in the first term, right? And the second one, what are the key qualities you possess that help you make the achievements? What proof can you provide? So proof is very important. Don't just say that you're hardworking. Give me some proof, okay? Don't just tell me you're smart. Tell me the awards you have, all right, or your performance in exams, things like that. So let's look at one example. For example, I'm always curious about the world around me. I often find myself engrossed in novels about scientific developments. This exposure has allowed me to build a strong foundation in science subjects, which helped me capture, so this one is important, the example, capture the first prize in the inter-school science project competition. So give me some concrete proof, right? And the third one, what did you fail to accomplish? What have you learned from these experiences? Right, so you can also talk about your failure, but be very careful. Tell me what you have learned from these failure. And question 4, what are the weaknesses you possess that make you fail to accomplish your targets? What proof can you provide? Again, at the same time, it's very important to mention what you have learned when you mention your weaknesses, right? So tell me how you have improved your weaknesses, all right? Give me some proof again. And 5, after reading your writing and the relevant experience and achievements quoted, what would be your reader's impression of you? So try to think of 5 adjectives. Are you hardworking? Are you caring? Are you a team player? Do you have good interpersonal skills? Things like that. And 6, what are your goals for the coming year? How can these goals help prepare you for your future studies? And 7, how can you turn your weakness into your strength? Any concrete suggestions? Okay, so think about these questions when you write your essay. Okay, let's look at the next part. While writing, so with all the ideas you gained in the pre-writing stage, draft your writing, you may also take the following points into consideration. So how can you portray yourself with good narrative skills to help your readers understand who you are and what your aspiration is? And how you may present your ideas systematically and coherently to convince your readers that you have good organizational skills. This one is important. And how may you want to add sophistication and color to your writing through the use of, for example, creativity, critical thinking, appropriate language and vocabulary. And remember, you should use a formal tone when you write, because you are the readers will be the professors, right? Okay, lastly, let's talk about the submission of your SLP essay. So for 4C and 4E, you have to submit your essay online. So you have to type it up in Word using this format. So double spacing, make it double spaced. And the font, please use Times New Roman and set the size to 12. Word limit this time is 400 words. Okay. And then you have to upload the PDF file on or before this date, 25th of April, before midnight. So please use the link in the YouTube video description to upload your work. Okay, so you have to input your name, class number. All right, and remember, next week we're going to have our Zoom lessons. All right, so pay attention to the time slots and make sure you're available. I'll email you the details. I'll email you my ID and the password next week through eClass and WhatsApp. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. See you in our Zoom section then. Bye-bye.